Welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. Thank you very much for coming back again. Today I am tackling the worst day that I have in my life. And it's the worst because it has two problems. One that's very weedy. To say very weedy, I've said before, I read it a little bit every time I come up. So it's not as bad as it has been, but there are a lot of spreading weeds as usual. But the other problem I have is that it slopes. So today, that is where I'm going to start. I think it's going to take me a couple of sessions. Sticking to the cardboard, that's a good sign. And I forgot my wellies. I'm sticking to cardboard. And I'm going to start with the edge, actually. I don't normally start with edges. I normally leave them to the end, but I'm going to start with the edge. I'll show you why. Luckily the ground is dry, so I don't really need my wellies. But if you see, here is sheep sorrel. A fantastic spreader. So I need rid of that. Also, couch grass, and plenty of it. So there's a good mix of weeds here. Some annual, most perennial. So this is where I'm going to start. I see a lot of people asking in comments, how do I get rid of this couch grass? Now, my patch used to be completely covered in it, and I tend to just get it in certain pockets now. But if you have it, even for a no-dig gardener, you want to go just underneath it, just to loosen it off. Now I've got that sheep sorrel tangled in with it, and it will spread and spread. This is coming through from the fence next door, or from the plot next door I should say, but you can see, follow that root that goes all the way down here. I'm going to have to pull that. I don't want it to break, but I think it's going to. Yeah, there's a bit of a break. But you want to get as much of that root out as you can, because whatever you leave, it's going to grow again, which is why I'm going to cover it in cardboard and smother it. I'm a big fan of smothering when it comes to stupid spreading weeds. I'm going to take out as much as I can and then smother it with the cardboard and sheep fleece. Okay, so I've done a little bit along here. Not too bad, but before I tackle this, I don't know if it's going to show up on the screen, but can you see it sloping at all? I've nothing that I can think of that I can actually show you, but it starts off like down here, and it's not hugely sloping, but there is a definite slope. I really hope I can get rid of it. Update, progress report, whatever you want to call it. I'm nearly done, right? But this has many problems. I've mentioned this before, but the neighbour planted mint in the ground in their plot, and it is constantly coming through. You can see right up to the fence. I had a big clump of it here, there's more here that I'm still trying to dig out. It's a nightmare. Also, I've just noticed this branch is coming from somewhere on their side. I don't know what it is, but I've got this netting up, and yeah, I can't actually get to it. So that'll be interesting. But if you're doing herbs, do yourself a massive favour, and your neighbours. Don't put in mint. Can you see this? This is only part of the problem. Oh, darn it. It's horrendous. It smells great. But I don't want it taking over my whole plot, and it will. There are a couple of things you do not want to plant in the ground. Mint is one of them. Ask me about bamboo another time. I might be no dig, but sometimes you've got to get to the root of the problem. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Oh, that's hellish. Now you'll have heard some snapping. That tells me, and you, that there are still parts of the root system and the rhizomes left in the soil, and that's why we smother. See, I even save the ones I don't like. Okay, that I think is as good as I can get it. That is now going to get cardboard and then fleece, sheep fleece, to suffocate the almighty doo-doo out of these weeds and mint and whatever else is trying to spread through and take over the whole plot. Trying to show you the slope. So if I look here, this bit's not bad. Get to here, that's a definite bit of dip down, and then definitely further down. Cardboard down. I've actually done a double layer, as much as I could, up at that end, which is the worst end. So now it's time for sheep fleece. Is there a slope? Look at the wheelbarrow. Hang on. I will hold this straight. If a thing on my phone tells me when it's straight. There, I've got a straight line. Yes, there is a slope. Definite. And this patch here. Now, the bit that's been done, that's for the asparagus, that's fine. But see the bit just in front of it? It's a little weedy. It's not bad. I'm just going to run a little hoe tool over that. I say hoe tool because it's not an actual hoe, but it's similar. And it's handheld. My hoe's in the shed and I can't be bothered. So I'm just going to run a thing over there, put down the cardboard that I have, and get some more of the path wood chip. So I'll give you the before. It's not very weedy, it's not bad. Right, there's one line, weeded and covered in cardboard. Well, I've got to show you this. I was putting piles on, and I thought to myself, you know, I'm getting through this stuff, and I know there's more than one layer of the blue plastic that I want to lift, so I thought, I'll see if I can lift one bit and what it looks like underneath. Underneath I have this, and on the plastic I found these guys. Now, somebody will know their bugs better than me, but are these the leopard slugs that eat the other slugs? I'm just wondering, because I know we have some that are good guys. Are these the group of good guys? So this is as far as I got, if the camera would focus. I am running out of light, no surprise to anybody. So I've got just about 2 rows of cardboard done. I'm out of cardboard. Let's see if I can get more cardboard this week. But to put it in perspective, about a third. I've nearly got a third of it done. But I thought you'd like to see this. Now, I told you the path, I'd put down the blue plastic, and for years, and I mean years, I've been putting on wood chip. Well, I've cut up the plastic that I could get free to get rid of it, and look at the path. There's a couple of things I find interesting here. One is there are some very strong roots that show, and there's also clear evidence that I'm not on my own. The other thing that I found interesting, and I'm going to crouch by these little house holes and hope to goodness nobody jumps up, but if you see the depth here of the path, that's how much wood chip I can get at this part. It's not going to be the same throughout, but at this part, that's what I'm getting. We're scraping off the top layer, we're doing our best to get rid of all the weeds that are there, and then take what's left. Now, to give you an idea, I don't know if I'm going to use the parts at the top here, I haven't decided yet. That top area is an absolute disaster. I haven't got to that yet. But for the main area, the path in the middle, I've got this part here still to go. And all of that done. So I reckon, oh, I'm over halfway. Definitely over halfway. I'm trying to decide what to do for, like, you know, the bit you walk on as you come in here and the bit at the top. I know it's very messy down there. Like I say, I'm working on the base and then I'll get to the ends at the end, which is where the end should be. Oh, before I go, a couple of things I want to show you. One, can you see the buds on my blueberries? Now that's the older one, the bigger one is the older one, so I'm hoping it will give me more fruit this year. The rhubarb, plant number 1, and plant number 2, they're starting to show. And I've got a big pile of manure. Yeah, I'm hoping to make some sort of cage for it, but when that'll happen, who knows. And maybe we'll bring in our old friend, chicken wire. But you see, I've got a tire there with marjoram, I think, oregano, something like that. And there is another one under that one. And they are areas that I want to get some work done as well, because by the time we put more wood chip on here, I mean, I'll probably skim or dig out the main weeds, but even then, they're going to be buried. So I need to get them lifted, which means putting another tire underneath it. And wouldn't you know, they're bigger, different size. So that's going to be a job for another day. Well, I have tried to do the end of this video about 3 times now and the microphone keeps cutting out, so I'll try it this way and we'll see which one I end up using. Apologies for you being so close, but there we are. I got about 1/3 of it done. I'm going to go and see if I can get some more cardboard because I'm all out. And I think what I'm going to have to do is just give it a good quick weed. I think I've done the worst of the weeding, she says optimistically. But I want to try and get that done, get cardboard on. At least then it's covered until I can get the rest of the compost out the path. Yeah, that sounds like a plan, doesn't it? Anyway, thank you very much for your company if you've made it this far. I do really appreciate it. And next time, who knows, I might even remember my willies. But until then, you take care of yourself.